Ladies and gentlemen, we have so far discussed the geopolitical angle. We have discussed the nitty-gritties of TTA and TTP and their deadly mixture together. But remember, there is a strategic angle. There is a political economy involved in it. As it's a very famous saying out of Bill Clinton's campaign, it's the economy, stupid. So in order to discuss the economic and geopolitical aspects between whatever is happening between Pakistan and Afghanistan, I have invited Sultan Ali Haider to be guest in the last segment of my program. Sultan, I welcome you to the show.
Thank you, Shabahat, and also thank you for stealing the thunder. I was going to say it's the economy stupid, but you stole my line.
Sultan, we have seen this development with a great concern in today's show. It's very rare for Faultlines to do an exclusive show on one subject. Tell us, do you find an economic angle entailed to what we have discussed so far with the viewers?
Yes, so definitely. Just as you recapped, it has to do everything to do with the economy, and you have to understand when people are calculating what is the price that they are seeking, right? So one price could be for TTP, the price is essentially Pakistan, right? So they are saying that maybe if we can get in, we can get control of certain territory. So that is like real estate, right? Taking over certain real estate. But then the other is, how is the Afghan economy working? How is it after the US's exit, right? So all of that dollar flow which was happening in terms of aid, in terms of other things, that has evaporated. So how that is working out. I was recently, there was this report by US Institute for Peace, and it was a very interesting report. It said that opium production cut out is really bad for Afghan farmers and all of that. So in the two provinces where opium production was at its peak, so now it has gone down, what I would say is like more than 90%. So the dollar impact was, for the poor farmers, was more than $1 billion, right? So loss of $1 billion in revenue. Then there was another loss of about $3 billion of aid that would flow in, right? So it's creating a lot of pressures there. So on one side it is that. On the other side, so now when we talk about trade, what is in terms of trade, what is happening? Pakistan's economy has been going through its own turmoil, right? And Afghanistan was, the government was not getting any dollars. So Pakistan government helped them a lot, the interim government. So that created its own problems, because now all of Afghanistan's purchases are happening through Pakistan before closure of the border. But they are not paying in dollars as such, right? So essentially Pakistan imports the goods, gives it to them. So that is creating lot of pressure and load on Pakistan. Pakistan's own population, last point, is around 230 million. Afghanistan's population is around 42 million. So while the other stats may not be available, so an additional load of about 40 million people is on Pakistan's economy. So that is what is creating a lot of...
But Sultan, isn't the trade relationship between Pakistan and Afghanistan is also on the course of redefinition?
Is also, sorry?
On a course of redefinition, it's getting changed, it's getting...
No, that is exactly what is happening. So initially, for Pakistan, when Afghanistan was developing, money was coming in for rebuilding of Afghanistan. So Pakistan also, it was a beneficial trade because Pakistan was able to export, right? So for example, our cement factories were able to export a lot. So in all of the food items which was getting exported from Pakistan to Afghanistan, Afghanistan was able to pay in US dollars. So for Pakistan, it was a foreign exchange earning mechanism. Now the situation has reversed, and I think we see the Afghani currency is very strong, right? So some of the steps that Afghan Taliban have taken is that, for example, they have banned use of other currencies for buying goods and services inside Afghanistan. So demand for foreign currencies in Afghanistan has gone down. So demand for Afghani currency, local currency, is high, right? Secondly, when previously what was happening is very interesting. You talk to the market in Peshawar and the banking market and the forex dealers. Previously, the dollar flow was from, physical dollar flow was also from Afghanistan to Pakistan. Those connections of informal or illegal at time trade were always there. Now the role has reversed. Now the dollar flow is from Pakistan to Afghanistan. That is again creating problem. Lastly, on this line, all of the imports, all of the exports Afghanistan is doing. Previously, Pakistan rupee was accepted. So there was a lot of demand of Pakistan rupee in Afghanistan. Now all of that Pakistan rupee is getting dumped back into Pakistan, because when Afghans export, they come in, they say you bring back dollars. So even for all of the goods that are exported, they demand dollars. For perishable goods, they accept rupees, but then they again go into the gold market, and they exchange those rupees for USD, and those USDs are then again exported.
I'm going to read 3 different news items, and we'll quickly comment because we're in the last 2 minutes of the program. Pakistan law enforcement agencies have started crackdown on the illegal money trade, US dollar trade.
Yes.
There's a crackdown on smuggling. There's a crackdown on sugar mafia. Is all 3 of this related to what has happened in Chitral, or what is happening between Pakistan and Afghanistan? Quick comment.
There is a chatter related to that. I had heard that before, because the local economy, that's the last part. Local economy, as we understand, a lot of people in those border areas, they live because of this kind of trade. Globally, anywhere, wherever you have high tariffs, in the US and Canada, you would recall when there was prohibition in the US, so alcohol was not allowed in the US, right, in 1920s. So there was a lot of smuggling of alcohol from Canada to the US. So the whole economy pops up, right? Right now, Pakistan is a high tariff environment, right? So there's a lot of incentive to smuggle goods across. So as long as that incentive is there, a lot of people would be working in that economy. Traditionally, we know for the last 30, 40 years, lot of local economy works on that. Now, when you try to stifle that trade, it creates pressure, which creates reaction. So, as previous commentators have talked about, there's so many loose outfits operating there, non-state actors inside Afghanistan. They also get their money through these smuggling operations. So now when we are trying to stifle that, we have taken series of actions. So for example, confiscation of money, foreign currency in Peshawar, goods not being able to smuggle, right? So that creates pressure on them. So when their money stops, then they get desperate, then they want to try out something new. Again, I'll go back to its economic price, right? One comment that I would like to make is that there's an important transition. This cycle will continue, it can never improve unless and until this thing is shown to Afghani people that they can make a lot more money through trade, through legitimate means.
Through legitimate trade. Thank you very much, Sultan. We're running out of time. Thank you very much for being guest in our show. Ladies and gentlemen, as Sultan Ali Haider has rightly pointed out, let me cap this up in one line. Afghanistan's economy respires and is fed through Pakistan's trade channels. And if Pakistan decides to take a stiff action and then to stick to these actions, it will become very difficult for Tehreek-e-Taliban Afghanistan to remain in a dominant control of Afghanistan. They do not have any support from any of the neighboring countries. Pakistan is the only hope that Afghanistan have today, for which they will have either to take a full and final action against the hideouts of TTP, or to wait for Pakistan to unilaterally take action inside of Pakistan. We'll join you next week with another program. And until then, Allah Hafiz.